Hi there YouTube. Hasn't February been fun so far with regard to the weather? I'm getting rain all over my lens already. Yep, it's been lots and lots of fun, hasn't it? Storms, storms and storms. And nothing but rain. Every weekend, every day in fact, rain, 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 rain. And it's absolutely chucking it down with rain today. But it's not as windy as it has been. It's not stormy. He says just as the wind starts picking up. So I am heading up to a location that I scouted a couple of weeks ago, which you may remember from a video that I did. Well, as you can see behind me here, there's a beautiful area of what looks like old growth woodland, and it's an old ancient woodland. It's not plantation woodland. So yeah, hoping to get some nice shots today. Conditions are ideal, even though it's very wet and miserable. It is quite misty, so fingers crossed we shall get some good shots from there. Well, I've only been walking about 10 minutes and already I'm soaking wet, as you could probably see from the footage I've shown so far. It's pretty wet today, but here we are anyway at this woodland that I was talking about. Hoping the ground's not too slippy, because that can be a problem when it's been raining a lot and you've got a lot of moss and dead leaves and rotting material on the woodland floor. That can be a problem, but it is beautiful in here. Very, very green, rich green mosses everywhere. Look at that, beautiful. So I'm hoping I'm going to find a nice couple of compositions, come away with a nice couple of photographs, even though I'm soaking wet and all my gear's getting wet. My vlogging camera's getting soaked, and I'm getting rain all over the lens, and I'm moaning and complaining, and you're probably sick of hearing it. I just wanted to give a shout out to my brother who lives in Perth in Australia. He watches my vlogs, him and his partner watch my vlogs, and so yeah, just thought I'd say hello. Hi bruvs, hi Tom, hope you're good out there, mate. Yeah, he lives in Perth in Australia. Right, let's crack on, see what we can find. Right, so let's have a look at this composition that I'm working on here. Just try and keep everything dry. It's really difficult because there's a lot of rain, which is compounded by heavy droplets of water falling off the trees. So tricky conditions I'm working under here. Right, so damn, let's have a look what was going on here. So my composition then is this kind of group of trees that are arching over. It's kind of growing into one another, crossing over. So it forms like an arch, and then you've got all these lovely moss coloured rocks that lead through into and through the trees, and then in the background you've got some lovely rich bronzy looking dead like ferns in the bracken in the background. So yeah, nice shot. So I'm at 1/4 of a second. ISO 50. I'm focusing on a tree trunk and a rock in the middle of the frame. Yep, so that's my focus sorted out. Now what I'm going to do now is I'm going to hold the lens, wipe the front. Now the reason I'm holding the lens is just in case it moves whilst I'm doing this. So there we go. Now what I'm going to do is hold this over the front of the lens, 2-second timer, take my hand away, and there's the shot. So I'm trying to find another composition in this wood that I can get a nice photograph. But I'm not going to be hanging around for too much longer because I'm getting absolutely soaking wet, and conditions on the floor are pretty treacherous, because if you're not standing on mossy rocks that are very slippy, then you're standing on very peat boggy ground that's absolutely saturated and also very slippy. This is what it's like when you're in the wilds of Dartmoor in bad weather. Anyway, it makes it more difficult to search when you're kind of having to look where you're going and be careful where you put your feet, because while I'm looking at the floor I could be missing something. You know, you can, when you're looking for compositions, you can walk literally a couple of feet past something and it will look completely different, because compositions is all about angles and lines, and if you're not at the right angle and you're not seeing the right lines and the right shapes, then you'll miss it. Right, this is going to be my last shot today. As you can see, I am still battling against the rain. I'm absolutely soaked. My gear's all soaking wet. I'm constantly dry stuff. Anyway, stop moaning. Right, lens cap off. So let's have a look at this composition then that I've framed up. So we have got a tree trunk on the right of the frame, and then a tree trunk on the left of the frame a little further in, and then running a diagonal line across the middle of the frame is a fallen moss covered tree, and then we've got all the rocks and some other fallen trees leading through the middle of the frame. The only thing I don't like is just on the inside left of the frame, so about there is a young sapling tree hanging over into the middle of the frame, which is making it a little bit distracting. But I'm still going to take the shot. So we want ISO 50, S11, F11, and a third of a second looks good. Right, so let's just check my focus. Just got to wipe that LCD screen because raindrops are kind of blurring out the back of the screen here. So always manual focus, always in manual mode when you're doing landscape. Well, you don't have to always do that, but most people do, and I think it's the best method personally. Right, okay. So I'm going to hold the lens and clean it, make sure it's nice and no crap all over the front of it. So I've got the 2-second timer on. Take my hand away, and it didn't work. And there we go. Right, I am going to get packed up now, get my gear back in the car, go home. I'm absolutely soaked. I'm going to get dry all my gear out. Thank you very much for watching. Please hit the like and subscribe button. Please leave comments, and I will see you in the next video. And let's hope the weather's a bit better next time.